And there we go. Okay, okay. We got this going on. Oh yes, we do. Nails being nice and long y oso. That's right. Nice and long. That's for sure, stands. Yep. Let me just check something. My long nails. This way, that way, and all the way around. Oh, yes. Yeah. Hello. Good to see you. As we get to some of this of it, I got my handy dandy little thing today to do some work on. And yes, I have to cut my nails slightly today. Thank you. Because these are starting to get nags in them, and they're ever so slightly too long for me. So before they break too much, as I'm getting little niches, and I have one over here that is happening. So it's time to cut these. But first, before I do any of that cutting, I thought I would use my mini little measuring. And we would measure how long some of these. I might leave my thumb, though my thumb is starting to get in the way. But I do like to keep this thumb as long as possible because it's so strong as it is. So, but today is the day where I'm going to do a little bit of some nails. I did. I have that made. I made something. So yes. But now it is time to do this because as I was going into last week, and I'm like, no, I'm leaving my nails long for one more week. This long for one more week, even though it's still going to be long. I'm doing them because these are getting slightly too long, and if I leave them this long for too long, they potentially could just snap off and break even shorter, potentially. So, before that, I got my mini measuring. I love this mini measuring thing. It's so cute. I love my thing of mini. I know. It'd be nice to have a little mini wall of, like, little things, you know. So, this go for the thumb first. This is the one I probably not cut. But it does sometimes get in the way. But that's why this one is so short and I can never really grow it much. So. Yeah, it's probably around 2 centimeters. Because that's about as long as I can keep my nails. It's 2 centimeters. And such. It's, I would say, well, this one is slightly less than 2 centimeters. This is almost 2 centimeters. It's like 1.5 centimeters is my thumb. This is 1 centimeter and a half. It's a little hard for me to show it. But yeah, that's it. And then I'm going to do this finger. I thought I'd just measure them all before going on to it. Some are shorter than others, of course, but this one is, is it 2 centimeters? I think it might be longer than my thumb. My thumb can usually get, It's probably because of the way I use my thumbs, because they're used the most, because how you people, I would imagine. No, it's almost 2 centimeters, but a tiny, tiny bit off 2 centimeters. So, yeah. It's almost 2 centimeters. This is almost 2 centimeters. This one is gonna be maybe exactly 2 centimeters because it's longer. That is my middle finger that I'm measuring here. Measuring all of them before cutting them, because I'm gonna do about a third-ish or slightly less, because I need to cut these, or I'm just gonna have nails that might break even more. So, especially with this, my other hand. And this one is 2 centimeters, which makes a lot of sense because this one is longer. Now one of my really strong nails. I do have shaping up to do as well, so the shaping up will help as well. So cutting a little less, cutting not too much, but then enough, because it will go down a little more anyway when I shape it, because I got to shape it and stuff, and that usually helps the nicks and things and all that kind of stuff. So this one is 2 centimeters, about, very close. This one is definitely not 2 centimeters, my pinky here, because this is shorter than my other pinky. This one is a tiny, tiny bit more than half a centimeter. So this one is the pinky type. So I think these are about the same. And then there's the 2 centimeters. And this is, yeah, most of my nails are less than 2 centimeters. But my middle fingers are more, like these ones. So let's measure my other hand, which for some reason is my longer hand. So, of course, I could measure this, and it's just going to be short. It usually is my shortest nail. What is that number there? 1 inch. I guess you'd call this nail about 1 centimeter. This is about 1 centimeter maybe, or less. No, it's probably less, but yeah, it's hard to tell. Less. It's probably less, I would say. For sure. So let's do all of these really long ones, which are this one, let's see what the size of this one is. This one is a little less than 2 centimeters. I think all my nails are pretty much 2 centimeters, and it seems to be the length I can keep, but then I do have to go under the 2 centimeters so they don't start breaking off, and then I can grow to that point and then keep them for maybe whatever makes sense, and then cut them again. So it does seem to be that's the length. Yep, 2 centimeters is my middle finger there. It's 2 centimeters. This one is 2 centimeters. Actually, this one should be a little bit more because it's longer. Oh, I think it's more direct. It's exactly 2 centimeters. And that one might be tiny bit less because it's definitely not as long. Okay, that's just so surprising that this one's almost 2 centimeters. Because typically the pinky, for how teeny it is like, what the? So, this is about the length I usually like for my teeny. I know, right? But they are starting to get like, this one has a fracture in kind of the surface, my ring finger. And then there's this thing, there's that right there. I don't know if you can see it, where it's like maybe a layering thing on it. Yeah, there, and then I think right about there, there's like some, so I definitely need to cut some of this because it's been through it. So that's what I got to do today for sure. So that is a definitely thing I need to do. So that is what I'm going to be doing in just a minute, and then I have a nice little design to do and an idea from where I got my design. So we will do that in just a few minutes. So there we go. Yep. Yes, I seem to figure out that this is something that works for me. Is to do this little bit of like cutting off here and there, doing my things, making sure they're painted, using all the right base coats and stuff that really keep it strong. So now that we've done the measuring, because I thought that would just be good, and it does seem to be 2 centimeters is my length that I can keep, but I can't keep it that length is the thing. It's the length that I can have for a little bit, but I have to go under it. So my little thing, handy dandy Harlow Taco set of nail stuff. I might push my cuticles down a little bit, but they barely need that, so probably should not touch my cuticles really, because you don't want to touch those too much. So mostly all I need is one of these. Unfortunately, yes, you could just use a file, but that takes way too long, so I have to use a cutter. I just have to. The dreadedness of using a cutter. So I'm mostly just going to take off where I taper it in. That's usually how I gauge how much to take off. So like with taper on the sides to do my coffin-y, squarish look. I don't really know what to call my shape. I'm assuming it's coffin. So, or in between of the two maybe. I don't know. So I'm just nicking a little bit off of each nail. This one I'm not sure what to do with because there's literally a chunk that came out. I tried gluing the little piece that snipped before it snipped fully off, but then there was no way to get it back in place. So that's the only thing. I'm not sure what to do with this ring finger. This one almost doesn't need cut, but I probably should cut it just a little bit. So I'm just going to cut the tip of this one because this one's not very long. So just the tip to give it a little bit of the shape, just to shape it a little bit. It barely needs it. So now it's been, I'm just not sure how much what I should do with my ring finger because it's, I don't know what to do about my ring finger because there's that gash taken out. It's strong as heck and that little, but I can't just have a piece missing. I even tried putting some glue in. I think that's why I can't get all the nail polish on that section. That's the only thing I'm not sure what to do with. Is what am I going to do about that finger? This one started to do it, but in a way where it's easy to fix because it didn't go so much. I was able to file it a little bit, but this is definitely getting too long to a point. So let's get that. We're definitely going to go under where I see a fracture somewhat. So let's do that. I'm just gonna, you can definitely see some fracturings and some things where it definitely needs to be cut because it's just like, it's kind of telling me that I need to cut it. Especially this pinky, it needs cut. Okay, I got a nick in each and usually I just tear it off a little bit because my nails are so strong and usually it can keep the shape just a little bit better if I do that. Then I don't accidentally maybe take too much off. I will typically do that. There's no damaging to me. I don't recommend it if your nails are weaker than mine though. I've just known it to work for me. I don't know if maybe I should make, well first we're going to shape them so they might get shorter anyway. Because they are, okay, so. As I'm doing, I'm taking it off. They look a little wonky at the moment. So I'm just getting it off. I'm not taking off much, and I'm going to need to shape them as well. Okay. I might have to cut a little bit more because of what it leaves behind shape-wise. Oh, I don't know what to do with that middle, with my ring finger. I don't know what to do with it. I really don't know what to do with my ring finger. That's the only problem. Because it's so strong, it's like that nick can be there. But I don't like the nick. Not like I'm saying about the nicks, but you know. I'll cut it down to there, and then see what happens when I shape it. Because maybe that will help me. Because for all I know, this one might need to be shorter than all the rest. So now I'm just cutting a tiny bit off of the sides. Because that's so I can do the shape somewhat. It makes shaping it a little easier. Somewhat, usually. Okay, let's do this hand first. And I have my handy dandy glass files. I almost use nothing else. I do slightly use the other kind of times, but I got my handy dandy files, and as you can see, I have a mini one. That's like, two of these would make the size, I think, of one of these, almost. But, yeah. I'm going to use as I said, I love my mini things. From my mini file to my mini little, tape measure. So, this is just the process that I always go through. It's going to shorten them anyway, so it is a good idea not to take too much off. But it's definitely time to take a look, because typically when I do this, it feels so much better and it doesn't feel so long. So it's a good thing, in my opinion. I thought I could keep this on, but it's almost too warm. And I don't want to be having to take it off when my nails are being painted, because I'm going to do a nice simple manicure on these. So hopefully the shaping won't take too long to do. Because unfortunately, I thought I would leave the shaping and doing all this for today, because I happen to need to do it. Yes, I probably can do that. I think I still have it, so. I will get that sent afterwards. So, with all that, as I'm filing here, the send of it all. Now I'm just shaping it up so they're nice. Now. Only thing though is I almost need to use, I do have one to a point, but I need to get the right things for it. I would almost do for shaping like this to start using a e-file. I actually have a little hand one that uses like a battery or something. It's like very small in hand, and it's like a file. And if I get the right bit for it, that's very fine. That works kind of like one of these. I could use it to help me file down so it doesn't take so long. So then maybe I don't even have to use a cutter to file my nails, because this does take a while. I don't know how Christine does it, but I don't know how you can keep your nails certain length without cutting them. Maybe she does use a cutter, but because I'm always shaping them to make sure the shape stays the same. This one might be too long, actually, compared to the other nails. I usually try to keep them. Whoops, sorry. Coffee cough. Yeah, I know. It's coffee, but that's what I felt like having. I did probably make this one shorter so it could. But the way I need to taper it in, it might actually be okay with that. It might blend in partially of that gash in there, the way I gotta shape it, so. My ring finger is probably going to be my slight shortest one. If you want, I can, and then we will measure them after done quickly. But I know this is a tedious process. Thanks. I figured out what shape I like. I do on other people like the pointy one. If I did pointy, it wouldn't be as pointy. But I know that I wouldn't want it on myself, even though I love the look. It makes me want it, but then it's almost too pointy. Because there's one person I see all the time with their nail art, and I'm just like, your nail art looks that good. I don't know if it's like probably her pictures, and because of the shape of her nail. That is my favorite shape is coffin and what do you call it? Like, it's not the claw one fully. It's like it's like a claw one kind of. Those are the best shapes, in my opinion. Best shapes. Only thing about doing this here is this is a tedious process to get the nails back to the shape they need to be. Is the only thing. I don't know, and then there's another thing I'm gonna have to say. I feel like my nail file is broken in half. I like I don't know if it's silhouette, but it like goes into itself more than mine. So it's almost like taking the coffin, but you take the edge and you go inward, like that. Like you take it and you go, and it goes more to a point. I like that somewhat. I don't like it on myself typically. I don't like full on square though, so that's why I go for coffin. Might not have made this one shorter. These are already feeling like a good length. Yes. If you talk, yeah, this video will be posted. I always post all my lives once they can go on there, even if it's the next day or so. But I always post my lives. So yes. They're still really long, but they actually feel like a much more usable length. Yeah, I know. I know what you mean. I do have the thing with my not ring fingers, pointer fingers, middle fingers and stuff. Middle fingers. They are my slightly more wonky fingers in a way. Like the whole shape of the hole, like down there and everything. When I'm gonna polish on it, it looks wonky even when it's not. Like it's the way it like comes out here and goes out there. It makes it look curved when it's not curved. Fully. That's what I've noticed. So that I recall, that was always my hardest nail to learn to shape. Really was my hardest nail to learn to shape. These, even though I did not take much off, they feel like a good length. Like they're actually manageable, so I don't feel like they're going to break off, which is good. When I started getting to a point where I was like, oh no, I was starting to feel like that. Even though my pinky barely felt like that. So I took a little sliver of the pinky just to be able to shape it up and give it a little bit of some of the growth that's been on there for so long. This is probably my shortest because it was the last one to actually break really low. Yeah. It feels more manageable. It feels it. It feels manageable. Like I feel weird without long nails too. This is why I've done this thing where I usually, what I will call taking up a third. So I take up a third, and then they come to like about a third, around that amount. And so, I know sometimes putting a base coat on of color can help you shape your nails up better, because sometimes like the bed of it to the growing out part can be kind of like misleading to how it's straight. So. Feels weird using half the length of a file. Yeah. Maybe my new setup once I move, when I eventually can move, I might start putting a wall together that's like mini nail polish things, mini things showing in the background maybe. Because I'm gonna, hopefully we get a place we can do that. It depends on when I can do that, because we have to figure things out, but I do have ideas for like my new studio. Definitely. Because I'm helping the sides, because the sides can start getting a little nagged here and there, and shaping them here and there can help the nags go away, because I'm shaping the sides. So there is all those things to put in mind. This can be a lengthy process. Oh, lengthy process. Do you want to think it like that? Yeah, these hands already looking mighty fine. I love the shape already. But of course, I'm going to do what I always do, which is taper in the sides, which is why I do coffin. I don't know why, but this finger is very easy to shape. Probably because it doesn't go so. Yep, I know. Why not make myself laugh? I can make myself laugh. What's wrong with that? Yep. And then I have some nice nails I want to do. I even have a new little stamper I'm going to use, which I bought not too long ago. Plate, and I just haven't got the opportunity to use it because everything I've been wanting to do did not involve using that stamper plate. So I can finally use it. It's the kind of plate I've been wanting. And whoa, is that curved? My middle two fingers really curve. I don't know if you can see that, but that's like curved to high heavens. There's the curve of this nail right here. That is very curved. It's gonna get. I don't like that. I don't like how it's pointing out there. So I'm fixing that. But you know. That is way too. I do not like that. That just shows the strength. Okay, let me just see how I can do this. This nail is kind of long compared to the other one, so I can make it go a little shorter if I want to. But I don't try to make my nails exactly the same. Like just very close. Oh my gosh, that really needs shaping on that side. It's always these middle fingers. It's always these middle fingers that are the ones that want to be like, take the time to shape in so much compared to any other nail. Like this nail is practically already done. It's funny to think about. I'm having a short file on my long nails. So it's like long and short. Yeah, it's just not for me. I wouldn't want that. Oh, I need to get one of those things that swoops up all the filing that I'm taking. It's going on the floor and all over me. That's the joys of filing. You get file bits everywhere. It's crazy, crazy, crazy. Now let's fix this one that has the little bit of a gash taken out, like someone went, no one did that, but I think if I do what I typically do, it's going to take enough of it away that I won't have to worry. Yes, I do, for sure. This is part of my joy of things. Anyway, if I can get this to go into that little gash, then I'm more confident that it will last me. I'm making more effort on this one because I would like it to stay longish, but I'm trying to see if I can keep some of the length even though there's the gash. I'm not going to take the full gash, but I might be able to just do the top part and go in and file into it a little bit. So I have, because I don't really want to take that much more off. But I don't have to. And it is very strong, so I'm not too unconfident. All I got to do now pretty much is just to get the sides, because right now it's a little too square. I want it more coffin shaped. Oh, I haven't even on my other hand. Gosh, I want to get to painting. Although it hasn't been that long, it just feels longer than it has. Sometimes filing is tedious. So usually I'll do this watching some TV and stuff, so it doesn't feel so tedious. And I'll do this on a day where I'm not painting my nails, like maybe the day before or something, because I typically get my nails painted all the time. So I don't typically do this and then paint my nails, but I want to get my nails done, so. This is not, this is going to be not a very common thing I do. Doing this and painting my nails the same day. Usually I'll use the time to really oil my nails a whole bunch to just give them that little oomph. Yeah. For sure. You know, it's just more tedious than anything, doing both at the same time. So I usually split them. If I know I need to fix my nails like this, I split them to different times. That's all. It's more the tediousness of it than anything. This one feels too square. This one feels too square. Oops. Too square, too square, too square. That's long, but why does it feel like that's actually a manageable length of my nails? Well, we'll see about these ones, because I don't know if these ones are still going to be longer. Because these ones are feeling unmanageable to a point. So I'm like, I need to rectify this. I know, it's not really that torturous. I'd rather go through it. I like it because I like the outcome. It's just the outcome of having to do those things, you know, together in the same period of time. But I was telling myself I'm doing it at the same time regardless. Come on, taper inward, taper inward, taper inward a little more. So you're almost like unexistent. Oh yes, it's working. There might be a little bit left, but not much. I need to shape it up anyway to go into that point. The painting part will take less time than anything. Here. This was mostly taking longer because I have little bits where I need to like file it to a certain way, because this one's has more to it than the other hand, so looking pretty good. And I want to take that away. I don't like that little pointing off the side part. So I like to flatten that just a little bit, so it kind of goes more into the bottom part of the nail, but not too much. I would probably say my two middle fingers are both hands, like these ones and these ones, especially, like, are probably the hardest ones, probably because they're like most curved. They take the longest to shape, typically. I know, right? I think it's actually crazy. It's rare that this has ever happened. I don't know what I have done to do this, but it has been like, what? It's actually pretty crazy, if you think about it. Pretty crazy. Oh, that needs shaping a little bit. It's not flattened enough on the top. It looks like it's curved to one side a little bit. Yeah, all my nails, is it all my nails? Yeah, all my nails, except for my middle ones, especially on this hand, have something to it that make it look where it grows out. Makes it look unstraight when it's not painted. I'm almost thinking I just need to at least shape in it some. I almost need to cut some off, but I don't want to, because I had an instant earlier like, oh no, it feels like it might be too long. But I don't really want to. I kind of just let it go, and then if it breaks, and I let it regrow. So that's the only thing. I don't know. I usually let it break itself out with this one. So Okay. There's a little bit that needs to cut off of my thumb, of these fingers. Okay. And we got shape in these. Yeah, I'm keeping this on as best. Yeah, I was just wondering about taking off a tiny bit. Not much, but like as much as I took off of my pinky. Of my left hand pinky, which is barely anything. Okay, now it's time to shaping these, which is going to be a little harder because even though I've been doing my nails for so long, I still have a hard time doing it. That's what I was thinking, just a tiny bit, just to give it a little more. But this one will most likely always be pretty short. I don't try to make it short, it just becomes that short at times because I use my hands. And it's the finger I will sacrifice. It's the nail I sacrifice. So if something happens to it, something happens to it. For a short period of time, it was longer than my other hand. But I definitely need to be careful keeping this one too long because it's my sacrifice finger nail. It's my sacrifice one, so I can still do stuff. Because there's not fully a need for it to be used. Well, it can be, but I don't want to. I don't need to, in my opinion. Now my really curved nail. I know, don't we? Sorry to say, I'm not one to be like, oh, I'm just going to sit around and do nothing and then my nails never break. I still do stuff, but I just learn how to do certain things because of my nails. And do things that make sense in the way I want to, so yes. Oh, the one that's annoying to taper in. Come on! Oh, I wish I had an e-file right now. I have some bits on it, but I don't think it's the right one, so I don't want to, like, use it. Oh, I need to get some e-file bits that I can start using. But then they don't... And then I can just, like, do the last bit of shaping with this. It just takes so long sometimes. Yeah, I can fortunately do it pretty fast and go back and forth because my nails are so strong. But if anyone else was doing this somewhat, depending how strong your nails are, I don't recommend going to. I do it just because they seem to even take so much for the way I do it. So, and I'm trying to like really dig into the file as best I can. Ooh, this room smells like filing. Ooh. Whoa, that side got filed to high heavens. Okay, gotta do the other one. Do my hardest nail first. That feels like a manageable shape. That feels like a very manageable shape there. Another thing that always amazes me is how I can keep my pointer finger so long. I used to have a time when I was the first few years or throughout, I always had trouble with these nails, but I must have done something to make them not break and stuff. That's always going to amaze me that they can stay long. They used to be the nail that always broke. Probably because of all the nail oil, all the ways I do it now, and then I religiously use a glass file. Back then I never had a glass file, so that probably was part of the problem, because I was using those cheap ones with just like almost something you might use on wood, on certain wood instead, which made it a file and was cheap as heck, which was probably damaging my nails and why they might have broken more, which would make sense. Because I don't religiously use the oils. Well, I do for the most part, because I usually every evening I'll use some. Yeah. I don't. And then there was the times when it was cold and winter times. Those times. I know, right? I don't know if it was because I used to live somewhere where I lived where it wasn't that cold, so maybe my hands weren't that used to the cold, or I didn't know how to deal with it, and now I do because I was living places that were barely cold. Because the cold, when it's like winter cold, can definitely do some damn. Can be can make them a little brittle, somewhat. I've noticed. If you go outside and stuff, and they're getting so. I figured out how to deal with that. Which is good. Because, for one thing, where I used to live a long, long time ago, which is cold, those places literally weren't, I wasn't having my nails long back then. Yeah, maybe. Well, and I've been more religious at doing videos and learning all these things that I've not really known before from other people. I do think this is a big factor, the glass vial. Having a quality glass vial, I think, is a huge factor. Because I literally used to use cheap ass files, not thinking and doing that, and I think that was a big factor, if not. And then slightly not oiling enough or barely using it at all. And then way back, there was a time when I didn't even keep anything on my nails. So they would kind of break because I didn't keep my nails painted. But now I'm like, even if you don't want nail polish on, like color or anything, I always recommend to anyone, if they're going to have long nails, to at least put a quality base coat. Nice. Why, thank you. I'm glad. I'm so glad I found someone that, like, my favorite nail polish person, and she does these glass files, and it's just like, it's a game changer. Oh, the only finger that makes it ouchy to file is my pinky on my left hand. I'm gonna need some nail polish remover and stuff in a few minutes. I'll probably need that so I can clean this thing when I get to using that. That is great to hear. Ow! Oh, ow, ow, ow! That felt weird. I think I filed that in a weird way. This one's different. It doesn't. I think the consistency of my pinky is a different kind of like. Huh. It's almost like vibrating into my finger. Oh, that's weird. I do have some nail polish remover here. It's just a cheaper-ish one, which is probably all I'm going to need anyway. It's behind me. I'm just going to use that. I don't need my high-quality one anyway, if I didn't bring it up. Because I'm not taking off nail polish on my hands anyway. So it's fine. Oh, I think I vibrated my finger or something. That felt weird. Well, there you go. You get the weirdness when you're here. You get it all. So yeah, out of all the fingers, I don't even know if this one does it. This is the one that I need to be the most careful with because the way it's vibrating my hand. Oh, is that my thing then? Oh, I gotta go downstairs. Oh, I gotta make sure I have something to go downstairs for then. Is that what you're saying? It's almost like I need to have to go downstairs for something. Maybe I should go downstairs and go get it, just because you said so. Funny. I know. You're hilarious. It's typically because sometimes I'll be downstairs chilling down there before I come upstairs to do my live so that's why. I sometimes always forget something because I can't carry everything. I'm not an octopus. Oh, speaking of octopus, I have some octopus nails. Love those things. I love those nails. They were so awesome. Those are fun. And I did those on the length I just cut down a little bit. Oh, these feel so much more manageable, but still long. Oh. I'm debating if I should push down my cuticles, but I have done that not that long ago, and I know you shouldn't mess with your cuticles too often. That wasn't much I took off, but it was just enough. Uh-oh. I might have shaped one side of this nail a little too much. Whoopsie. Just take that point away a little bit on the side there. I think it'll be okay. Be fine. I do sometimes have problems and accidentally do this one. Oh. Now I just gotta get this one. There might be some like lines I see in it a little bit from using my hands that are like friction things on the surface somewhat, but that's not that big a deal because it's getting covered up anyway, and it still feels nice and strong, so no worries there. Just like this one that went sideways on this one, that's totally fine. I'm just glad I got that chunk that was like almost going underneath a layer of nail, because that was kind of, and it was kind of interfering with my nail designs after I would paint on it and then it would start showing a line there because it was that prominent, so it was probably a good idea that I cut down to that at least. Yep. I know, thanks. So, I always shape this one up so bizarrely. Don't know why. With my middle finger. It's just on my right hand. Or I guess the weirdest treatment, I don't know why. I think it's typical of that side of this nail. I don't know if it's like what I'm doing. Of course it's somewhat what I'm doing. Why it gets so like, and it's like, no other nail I do that with. Don't know why. It is the one that you probably know is the one I used to have the most trouble shaping, or it would actually unshape after a while, and not too long after doing my nails. It would start getting rounded again. I seem to be able to keep the shape better slightly, but it still does a little bit. Still have that problem for some reason. Okay, so it's about time we should be doing the coloring. I will do that in just a minute. I'm just doing last little bits. It does feel slightly nice that my pinky is a little shorter. Because I was getting to the point where my pinky felt like it was getting too long. And I was starting to be like, I need to shorten this. I don't know if I like my pinky that long fully. But Okay, just tapering in the sides a little bit more. Just last little bit of shaping. Have I done that one for the most part? Wow, it's like almost gone. I hope I'm not getting too much gone just because of it. I'm mostly mean the side, not the shape, not the length, because I'm trying to make sure the side's not getting too filed. That's all. Because of that gash in it. But my nail is pretty curved, so it's kind of working. Okay. This hand is still longer. Jeez. This hand is still a little bit longer. Which is crazy. Why does that look like a good length when it comes to my pinky? It was starting to get me, because it's just how skinny my pinky is. I do get to a point where it's like, this is too long for how skinny the nail is. Oh, I just got to make sure that I don't want any pointies. I don't like points. If it needs a slight shape up, I'll do that another time. I think there's a good shape. I might taper inside just a little bit, maybe do a little slight at some point, but for now, this is the shape I'm going to keep it. I always like to curve those edges, and I think that's one of the reasons why I don't get nags if my nails breaking. Okay. Now we've got to make sure there's no dust, so I can put on my nail polish and let it continue on. Let's put on one of the best base coats of all times. Once I move, I'm going to probably have to find a new one. So, we're now going to put on my top favorite base coat, which seems to make my nail polishes last a lot longer than I used to have. Even my old one, which was really good as well. Still, I don't remember it lasting as long. This one is like magic. Literally what it says on it. So I'm never going to say otherwise. This is just the best thing in the world. Thank you. Right now, they might be slightly more square than sometimes, but for now, I'm going to leave it at that because it's still a really nice shape. So, but yes, I'm going to use this. Religiously, going to use my base coat that I love to death. Okay. I almost should use a slight pad with some nail polish remover just to undustify it. So I'll do that with a little bit of acetone. Just going to a slight bit of acetone. Just to make sure there's no dust so I can be on the safe side. Because of all the filing, there's a lot of dust involved, so, and there's a lot of touching of my nails. I know they do. I know. I agree with you. I know. I said that about my own nails. Who cares? I agree with you. Just a base coat. That's why I think that's the best thing to do if you want to have your nails, but you don't want to do anything with them except for them long, and you wonder why they're breaking. It's because you're not using some barriers to protect them. In my opinion. Because I've known some people that have long nails and they can never keep them long, and I think there's a big reason. You need to at least use a base coat. But you got to use the right kind of base coat, though. Ones that can work on by themselves. There's certain base coats, the more simple ones, where if you use it by itself, it will just start chipping off. So it's just like they might, I don't think they know that. Like, they don't want to paint their nails. But if you keep this on, yes, granted, you can shine them with a buffer, but it won't give you the protection it needs. Especially if you have flimsy-ish, but you can have them long. You definitely need a base coat, I would say, in my opinion. Because then you can have that extra. It's like putting on fake nails, or you put something underneath to protect it, kind of like when I use the glue. Because when I use the glue, like I've done to fix a break, it's almost like a barrier, and that's why I do it underneath, and I call it the sandwich technique. Because if I don't put it underneath in the break, so it goes in, it's still going to have the capability of going that direction. So when I've done the underneath and the top with the glue, which I haven't had to do for a long ass time, that it makes it work. Because I've noticed that, and then putting polish and stuff, putting it on top and stuff. So I remember the times when I was trying to redo my pinky, like for nail polish. Sometimes I put nail polish and then that with the nail polish, and I was like, uh-oh, I can't get this off. Sometimes I need to figure out what I can use to remove the glue, because sometimes the glue stays on too well. And I'm like, oh no, the glue's staying on too well. Sometimes I file it, but I gotta be really careful to make sure I'm only filing the place where there's actually something to file that's not the actual nail. So. But yes. Okay, I'm just getting this on. I know there's occasional times where there's like times where I don't even paint my thumbs. I just leave them blank. I don't know why. Because there's times when I use them to like help clean up. And so I was like, oh, they look nice, so why not? I'll have a slight ones where they're not painted, and that's usually my thumbs. Not sure fully why I do that. I guess I do because I like to show off the long nail with no polish on it. So then I'm like, just leave it. The nail look might not look complete though, but it does, I guess, kind of. I know, right? I've never used this by itself, like I recall. I might have on my thumb, I can't remember. I think I have, because I have noticed that any of like these that aren't the clear base coats, these are the ones that I've noticed for me are the ones that you can use by themselves if that's all you want. But the clear ones, in my experience, are the ones that you can't use by themselves. That's what I've noticed. I know, I could almost just leave this. But then I do want them painted. I usually go out on the weekend in some capacity, so I like to have my nails done before going out. Whoops. Okay. And then I can't just believe. And then another thing, I can't believe how cheap this stuff is too. This is the super-sized 15 milliliter bottle for around £4, which is crazy. This is amazing, and it's cheap. Oh yeah, as that's drying, actually I'll do that in a minute. This is gonna, I got some nail polish thinner, and I don't think this has enough. I'm trying to see if I can keep using some of these thicker top coats I've been using because they're getting too thick. And I think I haven't put enough of this in. So I'm just hoping I can fix that because I've been having to go get new top coat for some strange reason, and I don't understand why. They should last longer than they have. Okay, so let's get into the actual coloring here, because it is time to get that so I can let the layers dry. Base coat does not take that long to dry, so. It does not take very long. But what I'm just going to show you what my idea was. Is I am DIY one of these, like another vest, like you saw last time that I was finishing off. And this one I'm adding pink and gray. So I thought I'd do a pink and gray themed nail design because I haven't done gray in a little bit and I thought that would look really nice. And if I can finish this, which I might be able to soon, I was going to wear it with my nails. So let's do that and get the colors on. So that means you probably can guess I'm gonna use. I have this color, which is almost looks white on the screen. It's kind of pinkish, and I have this, which is what I can find that's gray, and it does have sparkle in it, which is awesome. I do have another gray, but I think it might be put away somewhere, so I'm not gonna look for it. All I need is to get a slightly pinker one for like, I think I might do a gray hand and a pink hand because I'm going to do the opposites. So I just need a slightly other pink, which I think it's put away with my nail polishes. 1 second, because I've been packing some stuff. I just need a pinker pink, no, that's not pink. Is that pink enough? Well, that's pretty nice. There we go. I'm going to use this one and this one. I think that goes along the lines with these colors. Let me just check. Oh yeah, that would look nice with that. The skin tony pink and the lighter pink, because that's what I have in the knitting anyway. So, thank you. I thought so. When I'm knitting, a lot of knitting I do, I like to add gray mixed with another color. So I'm doing that with this nail design. Yeah, I'm going into the thing of why I like to match but unmatch, which is what I'm going to do here. I do that all the time now, so. Time to bring out the tripod. The handy dandy tripod. This is just a speaker. Really high quality speaker that I use as a tripod. Yep, I use it as a tripod. So let's get to that. I think I'm just naturally. I do go on a lot of nice walks. So I think I just am to a point. And if I do, it doesn't take me very long to get slight. Because when I am exercising a little bit, people seem to notice it. So I'm like, oh, I do, yeah, a little bit. I always like to go on a long-ish walk at least once a week, like on the weekend at least. So the hand I'm going to show is going to be the pink hand. How should I do this? Should I do every other one with this, and then this, or should I do an accent? I don't want to do the similar as I did last time, so I'm going to see what I can do here. I think I'm going to do, maybe I do, okay. I think the light one's going to be the accent, and I'm going to use this one as the main for most of my nails, and I'm just going to use the other one for the main, for the accent color. So I think it would be, yeah, let's do that. Okay. This will be a nice base. I don't know if I have another gray color I could use for the other hand. I do have a white. I guess I could use a white that's similar to what I'm using. Oh, don't want to use that. That's a stamping polish. That's a stamping polish. Stamping polish. Okay. Oh, I'm going to do this here. I'm going to use record it. Yeah, I'm slightly glad this is the accent now, because sometimes with these colors like this, they're creamy and odd somewhat. These ones that are more white. So, they do weirdness when they're more to the white tones. Because of how white is. Okay. First coat is done. And now this one. I think this one is this is featured guest. This is like a white gray. Don't know if I should do an accent color, so maybe I should get one more color to do. Now, whoopsie. I do have this, but it has green in it. I don't want green. I'll just do this. I'll do this one. That's my accent. It might not be that different, but it'll be different enough. Only thing about this one. This must be, what is this? This must be old, because it's an old bottle, old color lid, which I'm not a huge fan of. I'm a little disappointed that this is the applicator in here. I'm used to the wide applicators. Oof, this is not the greatest applicator. My opinion. Okay. I'm doing my best. I'm getting more on the edge than I think I would like on my skin. I think that other one's going to have a better bottle, better because... Okay. I don't want to move it too much on it. Oof. This is annoying. That's not annoying at all. Big reason why I don't keep my thumbs much painted when I'm doing this. I can see why this became a discontinued color somewhat because of how thin. It's weirdly thin. Hopefully the second coat will help that, because that is looking weird for some reason. Quickly get the second coat on. Go. I don't know what it is, but this is one of my favorite pinks. I like skin tone pink. I really do. Like, I just don't know. I'm probably going to do all of these with a blue, like, stamp thingy, and then I'm going to do the other one the other way around. But I think I'm going to, because I want to do, I have pink I want to use, which I think will look really good on this color that I have on my accent finger, so. Where's the accent color? Where does it go? It's right here. And there we go. That is the base of this hand. The base of this hand is done. I gotta let that nicely dry, and I gotta do the second coat with my other hand in a minute. Cool, cool. Thank you. Yep, we're letting that dry nicely. I don't have to wait too long for it to dry, but enough. I'll put the accent on of that, which is going to be this color. Which I think that's a better brush in it, hopefully. Oh yes, way better brush. It'll be much easier to put on. I know I could just leave it like this or add a sparkle thing and do something, but I want to add a slightness to it because I have an idea that I want to do, so. Oh, I didn't realize that has slightly green in it. Interesting. Okay. Okay, now let's do this one. As I wait for my nice nails to dry. Anyway, oh, why does this polish bottle brush have to be so tiny? It's just like one of the old ones or something. It's so bizarre how it's the old one. It's easy to glide on for the most part, so it's not too bad. Well, this color especially, because I don't usually typically want to leave this tan, like skin tone pink by itself, so it needs something. So there's that. Okay, there we go. This brush palette is not too small for Pinky, but it's still kind of small. I would think it would make it hard for people that are beginners of doing any of this. No, of course. And especially on this, because I don't know if you can see it, these milky colors get limey, even though the top coat probably helped that somewhat. They get limey, so it's good to put something to go with to help that somewhat. But I know what you mean. If I was going to leave it like this, I'd maybe get my small colored gems that are really tiny, put some on with some glue, and maybe do that. Because that would work, but I could do that. I could do it. But what I'm going to do is not going to take that long, so. This hand I might need to let dry really well, and then get some more coats on it, because it looks like a ball might need one more coat. Well, this one does because I only have one coat on it. That looks like it's dry enough. This is way easier to put on as well. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I just did it recently. I just did it earlier today. And it was getting a little all over the place in my opinion, so I think I'm going to take this color. Maybe I'll paint it with, I don't show it. My thumb on my other hand, because sometimes I'll do the other color, the other hand on the thumb of the opposite hand kind of thing. That's something you can do. Let's zoom in, please. Oh, it's so hard to zoom in. Sometimes I wish I had a zoomer in or whatever that, you know, some way of zooming in without having to use my fingers. Zoom! Zoom! There we go. The joys of trying to zoom with long nails on a phone screen. Okay, look at that. Okay. Oops, wrong color. I realized it because of the size of the brush. And nice, there we go. Nice, and then what I'll do is I'll take this color and put it on my other thumb. I think this time I will have my thumbs painted. Okay. It could potentially be enough coats, but my middle finger looks too liney. Okay. Those look pretty nice like that. Okay, so we're going to do some stamping now. So I'm going to need this. And this is to do with crystals, as you probably guessed. And this is a overlapping one, so I could overlap it if I wanted to. It's made to like be in parts, which is what I can do on the nail if I like. So I just got to get this layer off without using my nails because I painted them. I could use my thumb, but now I've painted my thumb. Okay, maybe that wasn't a good idea to paint my thumb. Ah! Don't fall on me. Okay. Ooh, there's a cool little thing that looks like, there's some good stuff on here. I'm always going to be a person that loves stamping, because you can get these plates that are reusable over and over and over, and I love them to death. I don't care what some of the people say about stamping. Stamping can be a process to learn, of course, but oh wow, that's cool. Oh my gosh, there's so much stuff on this plate. Gosh. How would you do with that? Would you use that, then that, or would that be the first one you do, right? And then you do those on top, I would imagine. Okay, so let's see here actually, because I need to do stamp, right, there we go. Oh, this was one of the ones that, oh. Not sure why my phone has to do that. Stay, please. got plenty of time to finish this. Do my other, oh yeah, my other one's right here, so I probably could just use that one. Might help better. Cool. And then stamper. And voila. I can go a little longer too if I need to. That's just my typical time frame. I try to be slightly careful because I usually use my nail to take off some of the excess nail polish, but it can damage the surface somewhat if I do it too. Now I'm going to have to be more on the ball with this. Of how I'm going to do this. This is, oh yeah, I'm not using that. I'm going to do, or should I do blue on blue and pink on pink? Should I do pink on pink? I don't even know, do I have blue? Oh yeah, I have a blue, don't I? I forgot about the blue I have. I can use the blue to go with the grayish kind of thing. Should I use all pink on the pink hand? Like I'm doing, put pink on that instead? Or should I do the blue and then do the opposite other hand? I'm just curious. If you have, if you don't, it's fine. It's fine too. I probably don't have a preference. Which is nice regardless. But I'm just trying to think. I was like almost thinking pink on pink would be very nice. And then blue on the gray. Yeah, I was thinking that on top of this. Unless you mean this color. Because this is blue. These are both very pigmented. So they're going to show if it's a light or dark color. These are like made for stamping, these polishes. So they're pink. I could put this or this on top of black and it would show. That's how pigmented they are. I will do pink. Okay, I'll do blue, blue, pink, pink. That's what I'll do. And maybe use this same one for the background or something like that. Okay, yes, you got it. I was thinking that. But you think I should do the pink on both hands? Because my other hand's blue, like grayish blue. Yes, on both? Okay, there we go. Okay, there we go. I think I got it in the right spot. What the? Okay, I've got to redo that. I got in the right spot, but it seemed to have not taken. I'm just going to use this. I don't care if it makes it cloudy-ish. It's already kind of cloudy. looks interesting. I'm just gonna have to see what I can do to. I'm gonna need to do something. Where is my stamper? What do I do with my stamper? There it is. Okay. I need the other color. Where's the color? There it is. I need this. And then this. Much better stamp. Looks interesting, I guess. I don't know. It looks. I don't fully like it, but I want to do something better. I'm gonna do this with this color. Then I'm gonna clean this off. This is what I got so far. I'm not, this one I'm not, I think it'd be okay when I put top coat on it, but I don't think that was that great a color scheme. And then this one. Using the wrong stamper, I keep forgetting, I have the wrong scraper. And then stamper. And then here we go. I'm going to leave that nail and I think it will be fine. I'm just not going to do that again. That looked a little bizarre. That doesn't, I don't know. It looks fine, I think. I'm trying to make it look like a gem. And I don't think it fully did what I want. Only problem is I almost need another pink. Partially. There's only a problem. So I think that's my problem. I know it's gonna work. Here we go. Where's my stamper? I keep like not knowing where to put it. Every time I use this stamper, it's better. I mean, scraper. Oops, no. Go back in the bottle. Thank you. That's my nails. That looks like it has the same. I don't know. That's not bad though. I think it's because the top, and I couldn't get it because my nails are a little long and stuff. It's a little tricky. I I think I know what I'm gonna do. Okay, let's. Where's that? Where's that color I was using? I think that will be really cool. Let's do that. Oh, nice. Wonder what I did. Oh, it did the one underneath. Okay, cool. That actually looks pretty nice. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Where's that color using? This one, isn't it? I need to clean this. That's not the. Where's the. I thought this was the one I was using. My mom must have dried out. Okay, I'm just getting these last little bits sorted. Where's the color I was using? Da, 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 da. Where shall I go? I'm gonna use the bright one on the outside. Nice, nice, nice. Overlapping is very hard to do. Got to admit. Okay, I'm gonna use blue, 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 blue. What's the bright blue that I have? Bright blue, bright blue, bright blue. Using this bright blue stamping. These are pretty good. They made these look kind of similar, the middle ones, but that's okay. Like similar color scheme, which is okay. I think what I'm gonna do this thumb first. A little bit of the other colors getting on, but I'm just gonna have to deal with it. And then there's a little bit of pink mixed in, which is fine, I think. The spiral of it all looks pretty nice. Okay, so now we're gonna do the other hand. Pink, 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 pink. We need I'm gonna go this first. Need to clean this first. Oops. I don't think I'm going to need to put another coat on of the base on that other hand because it's going to get covered up because of how it looks on this one. So there's this hand done without the top coat, which I think looks interesting. I'm trying to make it look gemified. Some of this is tricky, so there is that to put in mind as well. I don't need any of the pinks anymore. I'm just going to kind of do this stamper. I'm doing overlapping in a sense, just doing what makes sense. I'm not kind of overlapping, I'm just letting the colors do their talking. And then there's that one. I'm not overlapping really because I'm just trying to, okay, I'm going to do clean up. I'm not going to do any of the blotchy, huge part because I can't, that doesn't look right with these colors. Oops, wrong side. Okay, and then I need to go sometimes with the sandpaper, it's like because it's so thin. Yep. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And then I'm going to do the bright. Yeah, I think a lot of these will look a lot better when they've been stamped as well. I mean, oh, top coated. Oh, that one's a little bit better than where I did it. I'm looking at it more like that. It's not really the best when I look at it through there. This is working a little bit better for me. Okay. See if I can get it to do its thing. I think I did to a point. There we go. Oh, that's interesting. Now I've got to top coat them and be done. Only thing is I might have to redo this finger. My little measly. I'll need some more of this to clean off my thing, to keep it nice and clean. But all I gotta do now is add the top coat. I think it'll be interesting. I was gonna do some overlaying, but the overlaying didn't seem to work too well for me fully. I think my trying to get it right in the right spot is a little hard for me sometimes. But at least I got good colors that are very vibrant, no matter which order I do them in. It's nice to finally have colors that you know you can do a bright color on top of a dark or vice versa. And it's going to show when you're doing stamping. So yeah, this is the pink one. And this is the blue one. I just have to redo this thumb, which I'll probably redo another, like later today or something. Oh yeah, I got to clean my hand off. Where's the thing I was just using? I need to... Oh, okay. Okay, just need to close everything. This is the color I need to leave out because I'm going to probably redo my thumb again. That's the thing about... These need clean, but I'll have to clean them another time. These need some cleaning. Oops. Yeah, probably. But mostly it was because I don't know how to do overlaying very easily. Because I've never done it before. And it's very finicky depending on what you're overlaying. So there's all those things. But yes. That's just the beauty. Things take a while. It actually didn't take that long. It took about as long as it usually takes for me to do my nails. Sometimes I'm just more chill to a point, so there's that. But I know what you mean. That is rare that I do that. Very rare that I do that kind of stuff in one video. It was just time for me to shave, and then I didn't want to leave my nails blank right now, so. What am I doing with my phone? There it is. I just need to do the top coat, and I'm officially done. Where is it? There it is. Fell over. Gotta change that sometimes, right? Nothing wrong with chaotic at times. Right? Nothing wrong with that. Mm-hmm. So I thought it was like, I'm going to shape my nails up anyway, so why not? I'm just adding some thinner into this. Oh, it feels so nice in my hands. It feels nice. It's a nice massage. Okay. And voila, my nail polish is usable again. I'm just not sure if I'm a fan of that one where I did the big part underneath. That's the only problem. That's the only thing. Nice. It's subdued but nice. I'm just not sure about that one nail. If I should redo it. Typically, when I do gemmed nails, I don't do it with a stamp like this. I usually do it more by like with the brush, mixing the colors together and kind of letting it flow on it. Typically, I do it more like that. So then I can contrast the colors a little bit better. Can't fully see the design on this one, but so yeah, my nails are done and looking interesting. I actually have one more thing I'm going to add. You can say or go. I'm just going to do this one last little thing. I think, oh, but I haven't. I just wetted them. Oh gosh, I just wetted them with top coat. Now I was going to do something and I can't. Do I need it? I don't know. It feels like it does need it though. Yeah. Oh, okay. I'm not picking that up. I have to. Last but not least, as I finish these off, and voila. That is what I'm doing to add to them. Give it like a little bit of a window, if I'd say so. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do the rest. I'll probably do that off the camera. Finish it there. But I think that gives it the oomph because the colors are so same-ish that I was feeling like it needed that thing. But that's what I'm going to do to all of my nails. And then so yeah, I know, chaotic, whatever, fixing my nails, getting the color, doing all that. Very happy with the outcome and everything. So with all that in mind, I do thank you all for coming and enjoying the process, which way and that. So with all that in mind, I will see you next time. Swag is my goal. Bang!